Hello, everybody. So today I want to do something a bit different. I want to share with you a little presentation, and that presentation I am going to uh, talk about the 5 legal rulings of Islam. This is the second time I'm recording this because the first time apparently didn't capture the audio. So now I'm gonna just test it quickly to see if I can hear myself. Yep, so I can hear myself, so that's good. So now I'm going to share my screen with you guys so that we can talk about today's topic. So here's the screen. I am going to share the screen and share. All right, so when we talk about Islamic law or Sharia law, a lot of people misinterpret what Sharia law has to deal with. Sometimes people interpret Sharia law as a set of rules that deal with objects or physical materials. However, Sharia law or Islamic law or Islamic jurisprudence, it deals with the legal rulings of the actions of the person, not the person themselves, not the objects they're dealing with, but the actions of that individual. For example, people might say alcohol is forbidden. Alcohol in and within itself is not an action. But we can say drinking alcohol is forbidden. The act of drinking alcohol is the thing that has the legal ruling. Buying alcohol is an action. Selling alcohol is an action. Some people say pig is forbidden. Pig in and within itself is not an action. Eating pork, for example, that's an action that can carry a legal ruling. Hence, when we look at Islamic law or Sharia law, we have to look at the actions of the individual. And in Islam, there are 5 different legal rulings to any action that a person might perform. The first level is what's called a required or a fard legal ruling. And for that one, performing that action that carries the legal ruling of required, performing that action is rewardable. Abstaining from that action is penalizable or punishable. For example, the act of performing the 5 daily prayers is required. Hence, when a Muslim performs the 5 daily prayers, they are rewarded for that. Likewise, when they abstain from performing the 5 daily prayers, they are penalized or punished for that. Same thing when it comes to showing reverence and respect to one's parents. If somebody does it, they get rewarded for that. If they don't do it and they're mean to their parents, they get penalized for that. The next level is the commendable or the liked legal ruling or action. For example, fasting every Monday and Thursday. That is something that is stated in the prophetic tradition, and it is something that is encouraged and commendable. So if somebody performs that action, they get rewarded. But if they don't and they abstain from it, then they do not get penalized. The next level is the permissible or the mubah. And what that means is that that act is neutral. For example, sleeping. Sleeping is a neutral act. If somebody performs it, then they don't get rewarded, nor do they get punished. And if they abstain from it, they get no reward nor penalty. Eating, general eating, that is something that is permissible, unless obviously something specific comes on that action. For example, my meal, it's permissible for me to eat it. If that meal contains alcohol, for example, that changes the legal ruling from being permissible to being forbidden. Now, permissibility is the baseline in Islamic law. almost all actions of a human being are permissible. That is the baseline. If there is specificity to that act that changes the legal ruling from the baseline, then that action takes another legal ruling. If I want to voluntarily pray, that's permissible. I can voluntarily go and pray. If that prayer that I'm praying is an obligatory prayer, that changes the legal ruling from being permissible to being obligatory. The next action is the disliked or the makruh action. And that action, performing it is not penalizable. However, abstaining from it is rewardable. For example, wasting water when performing the ablution, which is the washing before the prayer. If I abstain from wasting water, then I get a reward for that. If I waste water, I don't get penalized. And the last one is the forbidden or the haram legal ruling. For example, drinking alcohol. That is forbidden. So performing that act is penalizable, and abstaining from it is rewardable. And I have a quick summary here, a table that shows the legal ruling here, shows the result of abstaining from that act and the result of performing that act. So a required act, such as praying the 5 obligatory prayer, if I don't do it, I get penalized for it. If I do it, I get rewarded for it. In neutral acts, a permissible act, there is no reward, no penalty for abstaining or performing it. If I want to drink water or juice, then that's a permissible neutral act. A forbidden act is rewardable if somebody abstains from it and is punishable if somebody performs it. And we notice that for each of these columns, the abstaining or the performing, 4 out of 5 of the acts are either rewardable or neutral. And that shows the mercy of God Almighty in trying to help us in our lives. Another prophetic tradition says that if somebody performs a rewardable act, then that reward can be multiplied by 10 up to 700 times. And that shows the mercy of God Almighty. A permissible act as well, like eating my meal, is neutral. But if I have a positive intention for that meal, I can get a reward for it. For example, if I eat my meal with the intention that I want to gain strength to serve society, then that act, which was permissible, becomes permissible and rewardable. This was a summary of the 5 legal rulings of the action of the human being, of the individual, in Islamic law. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope this is helpful, and I will see you in another session.